In our leading story this morning, President Zuma has bitten the bullet. The much-paused axe has fallen. Malusi Gigaba takes over as the new finance minister, with Pravin Gordhan getting the boot. Followed by a build-up of drama and suspense, the president's midnight rejig led to the Treasury seeing a regime change. Gordhan's deputy Mcebisi Jonas was also shown the door, replaced by Sifiso Buthelezi. Interestingly, deflating all conspiracy theories, Brian Molefe was not elevated to the minister's post. Here are the challenges before the incumbent finance minister: to kickstart the key developmental projects to accelerate radical transformation, to break the alleged stranglehold of monopoly capital on the economy, to restore normalcy in soured relations with the management of key state-owned enterprises, to bring the economy back on track, to tackle the credit rating agencies with pro-Gordhan bias that may downgrade South Africa in attempts to weaken the government, to end the ongoing war with SARS.
Malusi Gigaba, listen, he has got a Mount Kilimanjaro to climb. You need a minister who can henceforth, first hour getting in, already give instructions that triple PFA must henceforth be repealed, steps be taken. You need somebody who can go and reform, bring about legislative reform to the PFMA and the MFMA. You need a minister who can appreciate the fact that we need tax reform. Our tax code right now, as it stands, it places far too much burden on the consumers, you and I, but corporates certainly are not paying their fair share. But at the same time, we need a Minister of Finance who can clearly be able to look at globally and say what is happening. We need to increase intra-regional trade in terms of within the continent.
Meanwhile, the opposition is leaving no stone unturned to indulge in Zuma bashing over the cabinet rejig. The Democratic Alliance, in a statement, has said that the firing of Gordhan and Jonas should be a rallying call for South Africa to defend its hard-won democracy. It has urged all political parties, including the ANC, to vote out the president when the DA's motion of no confidence is debated in the National Assembly. The UDM has slammed the appointment of Malusi Gigaba as the new Minister of Finance and called the move disconcerting. The NFP says that Zuma's cabinet reshuffle is an early April Fool's joke, and they hope that the president will redo the changes made in his team. The president may have finally bitten the bullet, but there is a tough road ahead for the president in terms of the backlash. The biggest task would be maintaining the unity of cabinet. Gordhan backers may not take it well. Handling the tripartite alliance is another challenge, especially after the aggressive pro-Gordhan stance adopted by the SACP. Having removed Gordhan, Zuma will have no excuse for not affecting rapid economic transformation. Another major headache will be tackling the political frenzy that the ouster would whip up. President Jacob Zuma's midnight jig left many people hurting, but interestingly, most of the SACP ministers were spared the agony. Now this, despite the aggressive stance adopted by the alliance partner earlier in the day. SACP had earlier threatened to withdraw from the alliance over the assumption that Brian Molefe will be elevated to the post of finance minister. But in a thrifty display of political acumen, Zuma retained all but one SACP minister. The move has punctured SACP's anti-Molefe rhetoric.
SACP has always participated in the list process, and we campaigned together with the ANC in all of our elections campaigns. We also sit on the deployment committee. So to say that we don't have a say in the selection of members of parliament is not accurate. Then secondly, if there is going to be a replacement of the Minister of Finance, why not appoint a minister then that doesn't have any cloud over his head? Surely there are other people who are equally capable of being the Minister of Finance.
Despite strong speculation that Zuma would rid his cabinet of SACP members, the president was not vindictive. Bladen Zamande, Higher Education Minister, has been retained despite differences over the fees must fall issue. Tulas Nlesi now has been shifted from Public Works to Sports and Recreation. Rob Davies stays on as Minister of Trade and Industry. Senzi Zokwana stays on as the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Ibrahim Patel stays on as the Minister of Economic Development, And the only minister to be shown the door was Minister Derek Honeycomb. He was the Minister of Tourism who led the motion in last November during the meeting of the ANC's National Executive Committee for Zuma to be recalled.